a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime. Water flowing underground.
And right here on the Watchdog, we are letting the days go by and not letting the water hold us down, although it is raining outside a little bit. You got Butch Maxwell here on the afternoon drive, along with producer Lola Martin Miller. Hi, Lola. Good to see you.
Hello, Butch.
Did you have a nice Thanksgiving? And all
Yes,
that?
it was wonderful to have all those days off in a row.
Yeah, you had like 4 days off. You never get that,
Well,
right?
let's see, Wednesday, most of Wednesday,
most of Wednesday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5
5 days.
I sat down and went, oh, crud, how do I do this?
Yeah, now you got to go back to work and stuff
I know
too.
it.
Yeah,
I know it.
but it's kind of good. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be here. It's first time I've been out of the house in a few days. And yeah, we had a nice Thanksgiving too. It was very small. You know, the first time this year's is the first year that I've not had a living parent, and we've always gathered at my parents' house. So it was already going to be a little bit different. And
Yeah.
of course, with COVID, then it's different for everybody.
Yes, it
so,
is.
You know, so I didn't feel all that out of place. It's been very nice, and my wife's children both came back home. They got tested for COVID before they got on a plane. They wore N95 masks, double masks actually. Had an N95 mask on and then another mask on top of that. Didn't eat or anything on the plane, and
What's to eat on the plane anyway?
right. Eat or drink, yeah. So they just stayed masked all the time, stayed away from people, and I think they traveled as safely as possible. It's not really recommended, but we had good reasons for it, and they're going to stay through all the holidays. So it's kind of
Oh,
nice.
they are?
Yeah. So they're going to stay right through New Year's, because once they're here, you don't want to travel again. So
Yeah.
it's good. In fact, I just came from Wheeling Health Right, where I got my COVID test today. And I want to talk about that today, where you can get COVID tests. So it's going to be a couple of days before I get back my results, but we all went in and got tested just to make sure, that nobody's contracted it or anything. And so that's good. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the holiday season. I'm winding down my semester. My other job is where I teach in colleges, and we are in our last week of classes now, so that'll be good. And then it's final exam time, and I've got to pull together all of my final exams and all that stuff. So I got a little work to do, but it's all good. It's all good. Just looking forward to. Oh, got my Christmas lights up. That was crazy, and I have no idea what happened, but I went out and put them all up, and they were working beautifully, and then all of a sudden, boom, like all of them went out. None of them worked at all. So I replaced a strand that I thought might be the problem, tested the new one, worked fine, hooked it up, got them all hooked up again. They worked for about a second, then boom, they all went out. It's like, I finally figured out what the problem was. I bought some cheap string lights from Amazon, and I think they just shorted out everything, but I don't know, just one of those things. But on today's show, I've got a few things on the agenda. I do have some guests. Today, Betsy Bethel from Youth Services System will be along at 3 o'clock, and we're going to talk about an event they just had, this Wheeling Sleep Out, and also the new winter freeze shelter that has opened up at the former OVMC. So I want to talk about that and other things that the Youth Services System is doing. I think maybe Lori Jones from the Wheeling YWCA might be along. I'm not sure, but it'll be great to talk to Betsy about these things. I've not really talked to anybody in an official capacity about Youth Services System, and they do great work. I have been involved with them over the years. I think one of my used to work for a guy named Milt Gutman. He was an old-time advertising guy. Now, there's a younger Milt Gutman around now. He's, younger, somewhat younger. He's my age, so he's old too. But his dad hired me in his advertising agency a long time ago, and Milt was really involved with Youth Services Systems And in fact, I'm pretty sure this is true. He created Youth Appreciation Day, and that was going on for a number of years here in Wheeling. So anyway, Youth Services System is serving primarily young boys in this area, and so we're going to find out about them. Now, at 4 o'clock, though, it's live and local music. Returns back here. Once again, I finally talked Mike Roeder into being here. Mike Roeder, who is the founder of the Catch Blues Band, and he's a singer, guitarist, and a songwriter, and really probably the leading blues musician around the Wheeling area. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to having Mike come in. He keeps saying, "I'm a little rusty. I don't know." I said, well, you know what? We're all a little rusty, Mike, and we're a very forgiving audience here.
Yes, we are.
We're just happy to have you come in and play a little bit of music. So
Yeah.
that's good. The COVID crisis continues to surge, and here at Wheeling Hospital, it's really put a strain on those folks over there. And now that's basically our only hospital in the Wheeling area. I mean, there is Reynolds down in Marshall County, but Wheeling Hospital is really kind of it. They've reported that they have 70 employees who are off the job with COVID or quarantined because of potential exposure. And the CEO over there, Douglas Harrison, had said that they were anticipating, a fall and winter hike in patient cases, and they did have this incident command surge planning set into motion as far back as March, and they're following that plan now. But they say they are moving, they are edging towards a real critical problem here. They've done some things by moving workers over to different departments to ensure coverage, because not all of the people, not all of the employees who are quarantined because of COVID or have COVID, they might work in various areas of the hospital, and healthcare still goes on. However, they are asking people to consider not going to the hospital if they can avoid it. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have a really serious problem that you shouldn't go to the hospital. You certainly should. But for some non-life-threatening issues, they're urging people to try the downtown urgent care as an alternative. There's also a walk-in clinic at Woodsdale and Martins Ferry. You can handle most minor injuries and illnesses and things like that. And then, of course, if they think you need to go to the hospital, they will send you there. But just try and avoid going into the main hospital unless you really need to. The surgical schedules are being reviewed. Some of them are being delayed. Sometimes routine doctor's offices are actually being delayed too, because right now is critical. Right now, between these holidays, is probably the most critical period that we've had really ever in this particular crisis. Now, it may even get worse in January, February, but we're hoping that the vaccine will start to mitigate some of that, because it looks now very promising that the first round of vaccines might be distributed and injected in people as soon as mid-December. But of course, we don't know exactly who's going to get them first, but we can probably guess that it's going to be healthcare workers, because after all, if they don't have immunity to the virus, then they're vulnerable, then they're not going to be able to treat people for the virus or for any other serious medical issues. So it'll be those folks, it'll be nursing home residents and the workers. Yeah, most likely they'll be first. And then maybe, old people like Lola, I don't know.
I told my son, I said, I'm old. I'll get it long before you do.
Yeah, we can hope.
And I will be first in line.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am not afraid to get this.
Yeah.
I think people are being silly.
Yeah. No, I'm totally into it too, and it's I think most of them are 2-dose injections you have to get, and I think there's a couple of weeks in between But I'm with you on that. Well, as soon as it's available, I'm getting it.
Me
I
too.
got the shingles vaccine. I get the flu vaccine every year, and generally I haven't gotten flu. And the flu, the efficacy of the flu vaccine is typically around 50%.
I know.
Not especially good. So you have a 50-50 odds of getting the influenza after you get the flu vaccine. But with COVID, the COVID vaccine is said to be around 95% effective. So that's really good odds. So why would anyone not get this? I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's a mystery to me.
Yeah, the fact is, trying to get COVID. There was just a news story on right before this show started about some young kids trying to get it so they can stage some parties then, because then they'll have it and they'll be immune. Well, that's of course absurd. One thing is we don't know what kind of long-term damage people have from COVID, and it varies. It'll be with some people maybe none, but other people might have long-term heart disease, heart problems, respiratory distress, and sometimes cognitive function. You're mentally not really quite what you used to be.
Are your mental abilities really where they should be if you're thinking, let's have a party so we can all get sick and have a party?
Yeah, right.
That's
Just crazy.
It's that is young people's convoluted thinking right
Yeah,
there.
it really is. Because when you're young, you're not going to die. You're invincible, and I know I was. So I understand.
It's a miracle I've made it this far.
I know. Me too. Now that we're old and wiser and have less to live for, we're far more cautious. So I don't know. I guess it's not true that we have less to live for. We've got
We still got a lot to live for. That's why we're cautious.
That's right. That's right. We want to stretch this out a little bit longer. I've got a grandchild I'd like to see one day and stuff like that. So yeah, this is stressful, and people are getting sick of it, and I know that. I talk to people all the time that are "Oh, I'm just so sick of this stuff. But this is and the rules haven't changed. Still 6 feet apart, wear masks, wash hands, practice social distancing, and try to limit any public gatherings. Don't, especially indoor gatherings are really bad. Outdoor gatherings slightly less dangerous, but still be careful. So all these rules, none of them have changed. It's all the same, and so we've just got to continue to be vigilant here. In Marshall County, they've reported 36 new positive COVID-19 cases and 12 new probable cases. So that brings Marshall County to a total of 1,067 confirmed cases and 163 probable cases. Of those, 476 are isolating alone. There are 13 in the hospital. There have been 25 associated deaths and 716 who have been released from isolation. So so it's you aren't in isolation forever. It's usually a 2-week period. In Marshall County right now, you can get tested at the health department every day this week from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. So you can still make it today if you can get over there. You've still got about a half an hour if you want to get tested today. Tomorrow again. Also, let's see, this is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday, they're going to close it off at 2 o'clock, and the same on Saturday. They're going to close just 1 hour earlier at 2 o'clock, but from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Every day this week up till Friday, and 10 to 2 on Friday and Saturday. So so you can go to your local Belmont or Marshall County Health Department. Over in Belmont County, they've had a little bit tougher time there. Their most recent report shows that there's been one additional COVID-19 death and 48 new positive cases. The deceased male was in his 70s. There are now a total of 37 deaths in the county of Belmont in Ohio. There have been 2,226 cumulative positive cases, 964 people isolated, almost 1,200 recovered, and 36 still remain hospitalized. So that's Belmont County, Ohio. Meanwhile, in Wheeling, in Ohio County, they've announced that 65 new cases of COVID-19 in Ohio County as of yesterday, Sunday, November 29th. Currently, the health department reports a total of 1,641 cases, including 18 deaths. They are doing case surveillance, contact tracing, and monitoring for all of those many of those reported cases. And this week, testing continues in Ohio County, and this is for residents. You can be from Marshall or you can be from anywhere. It doesn't really matter. There are a number of places where you can get testing. Ohio County's official testing places are Valley Grove Volunteer Fire Department, also the Warwood Fire Station, Station 9 on Richland Avenue, and let's see, also the Wheeling Island Fire Department right there on Wabash Avenue. You can go anytime this week, Monday through Friday, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and you can get your tests. These are free. You don't have to have symptoms or even necessarily exposure. You don't have to have insurance. You should bring a driver's license, a photo ID, or some proof of address, but there's no residency restriction. You must be over 18. Anybody under 18, as long as you've got a parent or guardian with you, then you're fine too. These are drive-up testing clinics, so you'll be either tested in your personal vehicle or at a walk-up location near the testing sites. So right now, the Ohio County is in orange, which is the second highest category of intensity of this. So, again, just continue to remain cautious and careful. There are also other places where you can get COVID testing. I was telling Lola I just got mine, I think, at Wheeling Health Right. And if you want to go there, I just walked in. I didn't need an appointment. But you can also go to Doctors Urgent Care and MedExpress, and all of those places are also offering testing. So you can go. I know the one at Wheeling Health Right is free. I'm going to get my results back in a couple of days. And I don't know, she didn't really even, I took a test in January, and there they put that thing way up my nose. And the one today was like, she said, oh yeah, your nose is a little dry. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. So she said, blow your nose. So I did, and then she was able to, didn't have to go very deeply into my nose. So that was kind of a good thing. So, folks, this doesn't hurt at all. It's quick. It's absolutely painless. And it's a good measure for you to know whether or not you are infected, and especially if you have a reason to believe that you might have been exposed. Generally speaking, you want to wait 5 to 7 days from the time of your suspected exposure. You may get a false negative test before that. So wait a little time before you get tested, unless of course you start becoming symptomatic. Yeah. But remember, too, that you can carry the virus and spread the virus even if you're totally without symptoms. And this is what is especially terrible about this disease is that, usually you can, somebody's coughing or sneezing, okay, I'm going to avoid them. They have a cold or they have the flu or something. Here, people can shed the virus and not even know it. That's why everybody should be wearing masks all the time. You know what? Even if you've had COVID, perhaps you should just wear a mask, just out of your social obligation to your fellow human beings. That, hey, look, I'm going to wear a mask too, just in case Now you can't we think you can't if you've had it. We think that you can't spread it.
They really don't know.
But they don't
until
know.
They get those antibody tests widespread.
Right.
They really don't know
Yeah.
how long the antibodies are going to last. And it's now hear me. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. But I would think if you had a mild case, you would have less antibodies in your system because it didn't have to fight as hard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you just had a real mild case where maybe you lost your sense of smell and taste and felt kind of punky for a few days, as opposed to somebody that was really, really ill and in the hospital.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to have to ask an MD about that.
Yeah, it makes
it's
sense,
the
which
level of
means it probably isn't true.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, and we want to express that caveat. We don't want to put out information
I
that we don't
only
know.
play a doctor on the radio.
Yeah, that's right. They are suggesting too that people who have actually had COVID get the vaccine anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because they think that that the immunity that you'll get from the vaccine is going to be better than more reliable than the immunity that you might have gotten
Yeah.
from having the disease itself. I know, as I think I told you some weeks ago, one of my wife's sisters, her entire family, and it's a big family, were exposed to COVID fairly early in this process, back in the spring, and they all had it. Unfortunately, all of them had a mild case of it, but they did lose their senses of taste and smell for quite some time, and they've mostly come back by now. But her sister was saying, it just made drinking coffee or eating food was just no fun anymore.
Oh, that would
And-
slay me, I'm telling you.
yeah. So
Yeah. Here's the other thing, too, that's so strange. COVID will get in a house, half the people get it and the other half don't.
yeah,
And you're all in the same house, you're all breathing the same air,
yeah.
living, it's just strange.
It is. It's
just
mysterious. We
strange.
don't know why, and it's very odd. And I suppose that after we get through this crisis, maybe they'll do some studies on why some people get it and some people don't, and we'll get a better
Well,
sense.
you heard about Taipei, didn't you?
Taipei.
Taiwan?
Oh yes, yeah.
They haven't had a positive case in over 200 days.
That's amazing.
And, people are moving around there freely,
Yeah.
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 But
so-
they're very diligent, and they follow the government guidelines, but it is the Chinese government, so
Right,
it's not
so-
like you have a whole lot of choice in the matter. But
True. Yeah.
South Korea the same way.
Yeah.
They've been able to really knuckle down because the people did what they were asked to do.
Yeah. They did. You can imagine that.
I know.
In this country, we have a long history of what we like to call rugged individualism. I think there might be other words for that, but you aren't going to tell me what to do, and that sort of thing. And I think in Asian cultures, it's very different. Now this is a generalization. This doesn't say that all Asian people are the same or anything. But generally speaking, culturally speaking, Asia is a much more polite society where, you follow rules and the good of the many is much more important than the good of the individual.
Yeah.
Whereas here, we have exactly the opposite take. It's it's all about, individual achievement and responsibility, et cetera. And, you have only responsibility to yourself, maybe your family, but that's it, And, that's unsustainable, in my opinion, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta take a break.
Yeah, it's time for a break. It's 39 degrees outside. It's going to be kind of cold and rainy and stuff today. But
Snowy,
wait till tomorrow.
snowy.
It's going to be snowing tomorrow. So, yeah. So, anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the events that happened over the weekend, especially with regard to this ongoing election that just never seems to be over. You're listening to Butch Maxwell hosting here on the Watchdog Afternoon Drive.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah? You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it!
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all,
Yep,
you probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
yep.
Hey, Ben,
Yeah!
ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchant.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by Wine and Beverage Merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants.
I'm not buying till I checked on for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doane Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doane Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doane Ford. Online at DoaneFord.com.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
The original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. We will be seeing some snow in West Virginia tonight, and that'll make tomorrow's drive to work tricky. Nick Webb, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Charleston, says a lot of factors come into play on the accumulation.
Once you get into the lower elevations, talking about the surface temperatures, the ground temperatures, we're going to be dealing with, half an inch to an inch of rain on the front end of this system. We'll have to take that into account as well.
Parts of Pocahontas, Randolph County under a winter storm warning until 4 this afternoon. Then parts of Montague, Tucker, and Preston will see that overnight, and the rest of the state will be under a winter weather advisory starting this evening and stretching into tomorrow evening, with the exception of a couple of counties in the far eastern panhandle. Marshall Health and Cabell Huntington's Health Department are teaming up for free HIV testing tomorrow during World AIDS Day. Jessica Ford is the event organizer and pediatric hospitalist fellow at Marshall University's Joan C. Edwards School of Medicine. She says the event is free and confidential.
It will not be billed. You will not be charged anything, so it is completely free. And we didn't want people, especially the adolescents that were younger than 16, 18 years of age, to be concerned about their parents coming and having it be completely confidential.
It goes from 2 to 6 tomorrow afternoon at the health department in Huntington. In McDowell County, deputies say they have a suspect in a hit and run that claimed the life of a toddler on Thanksgiving night. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Another West Virginia baseball team has received some certainty about its future. The West Virginia Black Bears will be one of 5 teams that will be charter members of the newly formed MLB Draft League. The new league will feature top prospects expected to be taken in that year's Major League Baseball draft. Earlier this year, teams in Princeton and Bluefield of the Appalachian League were announced to be part of a new elite college baseball summer league program. All of this as minor league baseball is the target of downsizing. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
And here he goes.
West Virginia football.
He's going to go all the way in. Touchdown.
Lives here.
And here we go. A home run ball deep downfield. And he makes the catch. Right up the middle he goes. He's on his way. It's a foot race. He's going to score. 15, 10-foot. End zone. Touchdown. West Virginia.
The regular season concludes on Saturday when WVU takes on Iowa State. Only on your home for Mountaineer football.
The Watchdog.
And I remember when we used to party back in 1999. We could actually touch one another and stuff like that.
I belong to a group on Facebook called Memories of Macomb County, which is where I grew up. And somebody posted, who remembers the Viking, which was this huge, huge bar. It was an old bowling alley, so it was just a big monster barn. Oh my gosh. I remember it, but there are parts I don't remember.
Yes, well, because you were there.
It was happy hour. All the women got their shots for like a quarter. So my girlfriend and I would have them line up all these tequilas, and the guys would come up, you little girls, you can't drink all that. Ha! We would leave them lying on the floor. But oh my God, I hadn't thought about the Viking in so long. Yeah. It's really fun. They bring up a lot of places that it's like,
oh yeah. And when you're from that hometown, that's great. There are Facebook pages on the memories of Wheeling and things like that that I really enjoy seeing too. And it just brings back a lot of memories. And maybe sometime we'll just spend a whole segment inviting people to call in, which, by the way, you can do. I didn't pitch the phone number this time, but we did get a few calls last time I was here. 304-214-1600. If you want to join in the conversation, you're always welcome here. But some of the old digs and dives around here, many of which I played back in the day when I was.
Did you have a place called Bucket of Blood?
There was a Bloody Bucket.
Okay.
A Bloody Bucket. It was a little before my time, but I've heard about it. The place is legendary. I think it was out on 88 on the way to at Peters Run Road on 88. I think that's where that was. But there were a lot of places. So, that'd be just really fun to talk about that. Yeah, I remember the time I got drunk in it. My old haunt, where my band Teaser was basically the house band for about a year, was right down the street here at Tin Pan Alley. And that place went through a number of different iterations. But at the time I played there, you could walk in on Market Street, and there was just a lounge in the front, a very nice lounge. It used to be the Zeller's Steakhouse at one time, rich history. And then you'd walk towards the back, and there was that was the sort of speakeasy in the old days. But at the time I was playing there, it was mostly a folk and country, light country music venue. Country rock was kind of famous or kind of popular. This was in the late 70s. Then you'd walk upstairs, and there's a discotheque up there, which was my idea of hell, basically. I just hated it. But then if you walked yet through there and up to the next floor, then there was, at the time I played, there was a rock and roll bar, and we played up there. It had been, prior to that, it had been a jazz club, too, which would have been nice. I would have enjoyed going to that.
Yeah.
I was never a jazz musician, but I really loved the music. Anyway, that was just one of the many places, and that was one of the few places where there were several different bars all in one. So that was kind of an amazing place. And I bring it up because I've seen it slowly being dismantled. They're tearing down the building. They tore down the back of it some time ago. But even that back door, you could enter through the alley, and it was like a speakeasy door. It was very cool. A lot of history here. So this segment, I did want to talk a little bit about what's been going on with national politics since the election. It has really been called for over 3 weeks now, and yet we've got a president who is failing to acknowledge that. Now, the good news here is that President-elect Joe Biden is putting together his team. He is going through the transition process, and in fact, today he was supposed to start getting the
security briefings.
Yeah, the security briefings, which is more than Trump gets. So maybe that'll be good for him because the president doesn't like his daily briefings, but the president-elect is also supposed to get those, and they have agreed to start giving him those. So I think it's coming along. It's a very slow, ridiculously slow process, but. And really, what is Biden's plan? Well, he's probably the top priority. The top two priorities once he gets into office are going to be rolling out the vaccine, which may start under Trump. We hope it does, and then continue through the Biden or early days of the Biden administration, and also economic recovery, which is right now stalled and has been stalled for months in Congress. We did get a relief bill. Back in, I think it was May. It was in the spring, at least, and that helped a lot. It extended unemployment benefits. It gave small businesses some paycheck protection, et cetera. But those things all expired, and now there are people who have literally not paid their rent for rent is due for a lot of people tomorrow, December 1st, and how they're going to pay that bill, when they've been out of work or underemployed, it's really tough. But once again, this political polarization has prevented the Congress from actually doing their jobs, which is to protect the welfare of the public, of the American public. Dr. Fauci has said we're entering into what is a precarious situation because we're in the middle of a steep slope. And he said that the actions we take in the next several days will determine how bad it is or whether we will continue to flatten the curve. Deborah Birx also spoke yesterday, and she said that she is going to begin briefing Biden's team this week after the president has stopped delaying it. So at least he's going to be better in the loop anyway. But the pressure continues to mount on Congress to avert the economic devastation that is certain to happen if we continue to get these pressures from the COVID virus. The lawmakers are returning to Washington this week after months of the two chambers failing to pass any new COVID-19 aid package. The prospects for progress look particularly glum right now, partly because we are facing a government shutdown on December 11th if we don't have a deal struck. So that would mean even worse. I mean, you want to talk about a very cold, bad winter, then that could be it unless our politicians just pull it together. The Democrats have proposed I think it's a $3 trillion bailout, while the Republicans are saying, no, that's too much money. And the senators, the Republican-controlled Senate, did come up with a much more modest bill, somewhere in the $1 trillion range. But Mitch McConnell has not allowed that to come up for a vote. So they can't even consider a much smaller package. And of course, what's going to happen once President Biden takes over is suddenly the Republicans in Congress, who have been spending like drunken sailors over the past 3 years, are suddenly going to find their economic sobriety, and they're going to be concerned about deficit spending again, which is generally the song that they sing when there's a Democrat in the presidency. Suddenly, though, when there's a Republican, all bets are off. On Thanksgiving Day, while we were enjoying dinner, President Trump was sitting on the pot tweeting again, this time complaining about something called Section 230. Now, Section 230, if you don't know, I didn't until recently what it is, but it is, it's a rule, a law that says that the big tech companies have to be responsible for some of the controversial content on their platforms. And well, actually, 230, I said that exactly opposite of what I should say. It lets them out of responsibility. And that is what President Trump wants them to do, because, of course, he says that he's been tweeting things like, just saw the vote tabulations. There is no way Biden got 80 million votes. This was a 100% rigged election. And when he tweets stuff like that, then Twitter has to put a label saying this claim about election fraud is disputed. And so he wants that to stop. So he wants to get rid of this Section 230 thing that basically just says, you can put a disclaimer, but you don't really necessarily have to censor misinformation. And I kind of get that, but it's crazy. Why not just not lie when you're tweeting? There are a lot of platforms too that haven't even gone that far. Facebook has done a little bit of it, and Twitter has, but there are a whole lot of other media platforms that don't do that, including YouTube. Nate Silver pointed out. Now, Nate Silver's the guy who's he works, I think, for ABC News, but he's also got 538.com. So he's a statistician, basically, and does a lot of election and sports type prognostication. But he says that one thing that's striking here is the extent to which Facebook is maximizing for short-term measurable goals as opposed to long-term brand equity. Okay, so that's end of the quote. I'll explain, give you a little context. What he's saying is that Facebook, rather than just getting a short-term praise for allowing people to say what they want, but putting up a tag saying that what they're saying is a lie. Silver's point is this: a better news feed could result in more trust from readers, more partnerships with news organizations, and higher internal morale. Publishers understand this, and that's why they employ editors. If the New York Times wanted to maximize traffic next week, They could publish lots of highly sensationalistic or even conspiratorial stories about Trump and so on. But this would likely be very damaging to them in the long term. So why not make a permanent change? Why not make the permanent change that, yes, we are going to fact check things that people post? What gets into this even deeper, though, is the fact checking happens on the initial post. But when people post on the thread below, on the comments, those are not fact checked, not by Facebook or anybody else. So you can say whatever the heck you want there and get away with it. So so the only people that can fact check those people are the people who do the comments and the commenting. And I've fallen prey to this where I've commented on some people posting ridiculous things and then they get defensive. And
it's not worth it.
No, it's not. And I don't know why I do it. I usually just back down after a little while and say, you know what, I've said my piece. Clearly, we're not going to agree, and leave it at that. But this is an ongoing problem with social media. YouTube also really doesn't have any kind of check, and there are a whole host of people that are putting together video content and using the YouTube platform to spread just lies. Distortions about the Holocaust is among the things that a lot of these people are fighting, and it's just crazy. So what they have done is they've begun policing the main post, but if you want to continue to spread your disinformation, then just put them in the comments field, and the only people you're going to have to deal with are people picking up on that. We got a call. Hello. Who do we have
Wade.
here? Wade? Hey, Wade.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'd like to ask your opinion on what do you think Twitter, Facebook will do after Trump's out of office and they are beyond his clutches and threats?
Well, I think that Twitter won't be beyond his clutches and threats because, but you're right in that his power, to do anything about it
right.
will be gone. So I really don't see any reason that Facebook or Twitter are going to change because they are monetized by exactly the sorts of controversies that these conspiracy theories dig up.
I would close his account personally if I ran the company.
Yeah.
And wouldn't let him post anything at all. Okay, that's my 2 bits. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Wade, for that. I appreciate that.
I have heard that right now he is under a certain degree of protection on what he posts and all that. But once he becomes a private citizen again, all bets are off.
Yeah, well,
they
maybe
could
so.
shut down his account altogether.
Yeah, and maybe that would be wise. That's what he did for years. Since Twitter first came on the scene, about 2012, 2011, something like that. That's what he did. He just made snarky comments via Twitter about whoever was in charge, whoever was, and it might have been George W. Bush, was certainly Obama. Of course, he weighs in on all kinds of meaningless stuff too, like you should dump your girlfriend or whatever. He had to weigh in on everything, and he never stopped while he was president. No other president would do that sort of thing. But it's essentially Twitter's like a gossip column that just never stops, kind of. I'm on Twitter. I don't do it I don't engage very much, but yeah, it's a crazy format. So I think that Trump's going to continue to be the sort of snarky social critic that he thinks he is, and I'm just hope that people stop paying much attention to him. There's one of the most dangerous YouTube channels, by the way, is something called OAN, OAN. They are basically sort of supplanting talk radio, right-wing talk radio, and Fox News for disinformation. Did you have something, Lola? Or you just...
1 minute
Yeah.
until
Okay.
the break.
Yeah. 1 minute. Okay.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Owen, I have tuned in to see some of this stuff, and it's incredible. You know, I thought that some of the people on Fox News in primetime were pretty bad, but they're nuts, Lola. They're absolutely crazy people.
I can't because they drive me nuts.
Yeah.
And I'll end up ruining my TV.
Yeah. Okay. I can appreciate that. Sometimes it's just better to not.
Yes. Ignore it all.
Yeah. And you know a lot of people have advised us for the sake of our mental health just tune out of all news for a while. And you know maybe they're right. Right now you don't have to vote for anything. So you know so you could just maybe just calm down and not be so addicted to news feeds. So. All right, so that wraps up our first hour here. Coming up the next hour, I've got Betsy Bethel of the Youth Services System coming in, and we're going to be talking about the Wheeling Sleep Out and the Winter Freeze Shelter at OVMC. So I'm looking forward to that. And don't forget, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, live and local music returns here to the Watchdog Afternoon Drive with musician, singer, and songwriter Mike Roeder of the Catch Blues Band. You're listening to the Watchdog Afternoon Drive with host Butch Maxwell and producer Lola Miller. We'll be back.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
When it's not clear which undocumented immigrants or how many the president wants to subtract.
It could be that this is much ado about very little.
If the president succeeds, it would be the first time in 230 years the electoral map excludes swaths of people inside the country. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
Arizona certifies its election results.
As Arizona's Secretary of State Katie Hobbs and Republican Governor and Trump ally Doug Ducey were certifying the results, giving Joe Biden the win in Arizona, Rudy Giuliani and his team were in Phoenix presenting what they claim is evidence of hundreds of thousands of ballots which need to be nullified across the state. So far, court cases in Arizona have gone nowhere. The state is moving on, and Governor Ducey has said the count in Arizona is accurate, and it's now been certified for Joe Biden.
ABC's Alex Stone. With coronavirus cases rising, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy is tightening limits on outdoor gatherings and pausing all indoor and outdoor sports, but adding,
I want to quickly address the rumors that we have begun hearing about some impending statewide shutdown and lockdown. Those rumors, whether told to you by a friend or posted on social media, are just that, rumors.
Los Angeles County under a new stay-at-home order. Rhode Island is shutting bars, gyms, movie theaters, bowling alleys, indoor sporting facilities for 2 weeks. Today is officially the last day of the Atlantic hurricane season after a record 30 named storms. South Carolina prison officials say they have to delay a Friday execution due to a shortage of lethal injection drugs. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
A tree and maybe some presents and an absence.
America the Beautiful. That's the theme of the White House Christmas decorations this year, a more traditional display than previous holiday seasons. First Lady Melania Trump was not present for the unveiling of the decorations this year, as she has been in years past. The Red Room is dedicated to honoring first responders and frontline workers, trees adorned with ornaments of doctors' and nurses' uniforms, and scientists. The library is dedicated to celebrating the 100th anniversary of women earning the right to vote. The Space Room celebrates American advances in planes, automobiles, and space travel. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
And just like that, the 11-foot mysterious silver-colored monolith amid rocks in the Utah desert, discovered less than 2 weeks ago by the Federal Bureau of Land Management, is gone. Sierra Van Meter and other hikers went to see it, but were too late.
We showed up and there was nothing there. For a moment, we were just in disbelief, like, what is happening? It was really scary. I was nervous.
Federal officials say they don't know who put up that structure or took it down. Another strange disappearance. Police in southern Germany are searching for a large wooden sculpture stolen from a mountainside where it appeared without explanation a few years ago. Local reports say it appeared to have been chopped down. It's shaped like a part of the male anatomy and nearly 7 feet tall. This is ABC News.
Whatever you send through the U.S. Postal Service this season is so much more than mail or packages. In every carrier's hands is a card with your handwriting. In every box, on every truck, is your message that you care. We know how much goes into your holiday mail, especially this year, which is why we go the distance to bring you closer. Learn more at USPS.com/closer.
Chuck Severson, ABC News.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care
Are
of you.
you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Look for periods of rain, otherwise mostly cloudy, for your start to the work week. Temperatures should rise to about 45 for the daytime high. Your overnight low of 30 degrees, rain changing over to a little bit of snow. You'll see periods of snow in the forecast for your Tuesday, with highs in the lower 30s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. The afternoon drive continues with more news, sports, and talk on the Watchdog.
Shaken to the top. The shake
And if it's the Clash, then you know it's gonna be Butch Maxwell here on the air. Because I think Lola saves all that stuff for me. Thank you, Lola. Yeah. So you're listening to the Afternoon Drive on the Watchdog Network, WKKX, WVLY, and this is Butch Maxwell, guest hosting here today. I just got word I'll be here on Friday as well, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be back here. But for right now, I've got Betsy Bethel, who is on the line. She's from Youth Services System. Hi, Betsy. How are you?
I'm great, Butch. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for sitting through the break and waiting to talk to me. I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
I guess I'm like a pinch hitter today.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, just kind of we were hoping to get John Moses, but I guess he was not able to be here. But I'm glad to have you. I think we met years ago.
Yeah. I used to work at the paper, and I used to put your picture in the paper all the time, and all your different get-ups for the dinner theater.
For the Mystery Theater, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you've landed well. Youth Services System has been close to my heart for many years. I had mentioned in the last hour that one of my old mentors and former boss, one of the nicest guys I've worked for, Milt Gutman, was very involved in youth services many years ago. The elder Milt Gutman. There's a younger one around now, but he's not really young.
Yes.
He's like old like us. But so I understand you had an event. Was it just this past weekend?
We actually have an event coming up.
Oh,
we
okay.
have our annual Wheeling Sleep Out, which is this Friday. Normally we hold it in November, but earlier this year when we were planning, our new special events coordinator, Tara Cruz, decided to make it kind of a holiday-themed event, and so we pushed it back to December 4th this year.
Okay.
And it is, it's an event that raises money and awareness about youth homelessness. And we, of course, at Youth Services System, we've had our transitional living program here for older youth who are facing homelessness, whether because they aged out of foster care or they're homeless for whatever reason, just aren't able to live at home anymore, or for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So they are young and they are in a very vulnerable and impressionable stage, 17, 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And so what YSS does is gives them a place to live and food, and teaches them life skills and helps them figure out where they want to go in life. Helps them figure it out, and then helps them take the steps to get where they want to go.
That's fantastic.
And it's an amazing program. We were actually the first in the state to have a transitional living program way back in 1981, I believe we started. Wow. And this fundraiser is to help folks who really don't have any kind of payer source. They're not through DHHR or anything like that. So it gives somebody who they could just come in off the streets, and then we can help them because of the money raised with this fundraiser.
Okay, yeah. So how do you raise money with the Sleep Out?
Yeah, so we get sponsors. We have a number of sponsors this year, and I'm going to grab the list so I can mention those at some point.
Let's give them some credit for this, yes.
Absolutely. I know our biggest sponsor this year is Abraham and Company. They're a CPA firm down in Moundsville, and Mark Abraham is the lead there, and he's been on our board forever. John jokes that he can't get rid of him, so. But they were a big sponsor this year, and we always have BB&T West Virginia Foundation. They're a big sponsor every year. And another one I'd like to mention is a couple by the name of Wayne and Carolyn Smith. And Wayne used to be on our board. He's now an emeritus board member, and he gives $5,000 every year for the Wheeling Sleep Out. So we have a great number, a great group of sponsors every year who support this event. And then the other way we raise money, a couple other ways. One is just peer-to-peer fundraising is what they call it. Just people out there in the community who say, hey, I'm raising money for this. Won't you help? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we do that, and usually we have about 20 or 30 people helping us raise money. And then some of those people, most of them usually build some kind of a sleep out structure out of cardboard and duct tape and things like that and sleep out in it typically when we have it in November. And that whole event usually takes place up at I-470 Field. And we're not doing that this year. We are still asking people to build structures, take videos of them, and then our judges will judge the videos. And the purpose of that is just kind of like a show of solidarity with people who do have to live outside, and it's to also just to raise awareness.
Sure.
So,
yeah. The idea of getting them to build structures typical of what homeless people might be forced to resort to is very interesting. Imagine it creates a lot of empathy too for the people who, of course, the people who are already involved are probably already very empathetic, but this has to help.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we like to get kids involved. You know, like last year we had a group of young ladies from St. Joseph the Worker School up in Weirton, and they came down and built a nativity scene out of cardboard with Mary and Joseph and the shepherds and the baby Jesus, and they won one of the awards last year. So it's always great to get kids involved because I think that's where, you know, you get the teamwork and you get the coming together for a cause, and you know, it is a fun event.
Yeah.
And it is a teamwork event, but I think people do really latch on to the awareness part of it, and part of the requirements is that your structure should have information about local resources and about statistics and things like that, so it gets the teams involved in finding out more about youth homelessness.
Yeah. Now, if someone wanted to participate and maybe building one of these homeless shelter type things, is there still time to get involved?
Well, there's just enough time. I mean, there's like 24 hours.
Okay.
Tomorrow,
All right.
Tomorrow is our deadline for sending in your videos. Now, you can do it and not be judged, and you can still build a structure and raise awareness. And you can do that. You can register on our website at www.youthservicessystem.org and the events page. So you go to the events page, and there's a registration form to do it, and then it gives you all of the guidelines and the purpose behind it all and stuff like that. So it's youthservicessystem.org/events.
Okay, got that. And basically, if someone wanted to participate in this, even if it wasn't for judging or anything, then they could they would just build this structure and take a picture of it, and is that
take a video.
A video.
We're gonna do a video. So there's three things that they're looking for, that the judges would be looking for, and we have celebrity judges who do this, usually from the news stations, and some of our usually a board member, and folks like that get involved. Erica Storch has been involved, and Brenda Danehart and those kind of folks. So anyway, the judges are looking for, number one, it has to be warm. It has to be a place that you could actually sleep in and not be exposed to the elements. Number two, it has to reflect the theme. This year's theme is Home for the Holidays. And number three, it needs to include awareness, things like statistics about youth homelessness and resources available in the community.
Okay.
So those are the three criteria. And you can only use cardboard and duct tape, and there's more things that you can use, but I can't remember what they are. But you can't use wood and nails and things like that. It has to be more of a temporary type structure.
Right. Okay. And you can find out more information about that by just going to the event page at youthservicessystem.org.
Right. .org. Yep. And you can also find our fundraising information there as well.
Oh.
There's a link. And if you want to just, if this is something that you wanted to support and you want to just give right now, you can text. We have a text to give, which is, you would text WSO, that stands for Wheeling Sleep Out, WSO 2020, and then you would text that to 44321. And that's our text to give, 44321.
Boy, now that's a pretty easy number to remember.
It
44321.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. 44321. And then it's WSO 2020. And then that'll take you, what that'll do then is it'll give you a link to go to on your phone. And then you can, that's the link where the fundraising, gives you options on how much to donate. And then you can donate with a credit card or through your bank account. So it's pretty cool. We just started that this year for the first time. We've done that text to give, and it's worked out really well. We did a similar, we did a new fundraiser back in June, but it's similar. It was called the Camp Out. So it was called Camp Out for a Cause, and it was a fundraiser for several of our more underfunded or unfunded programs. And I'm getting a call, so if I cut out, that's why. That event raised almost $25,000, and then this event we're looking to raise $50,000. Originally, our goal was $100,000 for the Sleep Out, which is the highest we've ever set the goal. And then with everything, with COVID and all of the financial toll it's taken on so many people,
got to lower your expectations.
We
Yeah,
lowered that goal to $50,000.
Yeah.
So we're at about 39 right now.
That's great. That's great. You
Yeah,
know, you might make it. You know, and
yeah.
you always want to set a goal that's a little bit higher than you're comfortable with, and then maybe you can achieve well.
Yeah, we just weren't sure how it was going to go, and so we'll be very happy if we hit when we hit 50,000.
Good job, Betsy. When we hit, yeah. In the funding source for this is it how much is peer versus sponsor? Do you have any idea?
It's probably about, I would say maybe 60-40 sponsor versus peer. So John Moses always raises money for this himself. He calls in the big guns, and he always he does the peer-to-peer fundraising and always raises the most money. I think he's got $15,000 right now. So he's not eligible to win any prizes. He really loves this event and gets a lot of donations for it from his friends and from his peers and colleagues over the years. So
John Moses is the legendary. It was his title CEO of.
He's the CEO. Yeah. He's been here since 1979. We were founded in '74, so he's been here almost since the beginning.
Almost since the beginning. It's amazing.
Started out in our emergency shelter for boys, the Samaritan House, and kind of became a protege of Ronald Mulholland, who was our founder, and kind of followed in Ron's footsteps. And Ron's always been known for, he's passed now, he passed away in 2009, but he was known for saying yes and then figuring out how to pay for it later. And so he actually has this amazing quote. He said, "We must say yes, yes, and yes again. Children cannot survive our failed efforts. Children can no longer be seen as a constituency worthy of only occasional concern." And so our motto is say yes, yes, and yes again, and John has followed that through, and the agency has grown probably by 3 or 4 times since John took over in 2009.
It does seem like it's grown enormously. I know you have a facility that is up on, it's not Chaplin, it's maybe a little bit
I think
north
it is Chaplin, if you're talking about the Mulholland Center.
Yeah, the Mulholland Center, that's it. Okay,
Yeah. That's our detention center? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, and I had to, I'd been there with some volunteers from Wheeling University.
Yes. Oh my gosh, those folks are amazing. The Wheeling University folks, they do such great work. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to come in because of COVID this year, but they do such great things with those kids up there. So that used to be the Northern Regional Juvenile Center, and we renamed it the Mulholland Center in 2014 after our founder. And that's where our offices used to be, our main administrative offices. We moved down
The Hazel
to
Atlas
the
building?
Hazel Atlas building in 2009.
Yeah. Actually, I was in there recently too. They were moving some equipment in and out because I'd loaned somebody from Youth Services some equipment, and a lot of people. It was a Sunday morning, and a lot of people were gathered around. They were eating and stuff like that. Anyway, it's very, very nice to see this sort of a fellowship of all races and gender, everything.
So that was recently?
Yes, that was not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before and the one before that.
So can I tell you a little bit about that?
Please do,
gathering? Yeah, so this is a recent thing that we have been able to partner with the Vineyard Church. And I don't know if you know, but during the whole springtime and summer and most of the fall, the Vineyard was meeting on Sundays at Wheeling Heritage Port because of COVID. So they had their services out at the port every Sunday, and a lot of the local folks who, maybe are struggling more with low income or mental health issues or substance use issues or are homeless would come to that service. And because it was outside and it was very low pressure and they could stand, in the back. And so they got a big gathering of folks like that. So when the Vineyard in October decided to change their format so they couldn't meet outside anymore, they're like, well, what do we do about these folks? Because they're right here, centralized in downtown Wheeling, in East Wheeling. So Chris Figueretti, who is our Good Samaritan Award winner this year, Chris Figueretti, the pastor of Vineyard Church, he called up John Moses and said, so, do you have any ideas? And I guess John just said, yeah, I got the keys. I can give them to you. I got the keys to this church downstairs in our building. You can just, have your services here. So Chris jokes that he just tossed him the keys, and the rest is history. So every Sunday now, we have a church service. Everyone is welcome, and the Vineyard puts on the service. I think it's a video service, but they get a big crowd. You saw it yourself.
Yeah, I did. And then they were fed too. I'm not sure who.
So I think the Street Moms. Are you familiar with the Street Moms?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay, well,
Susan
Brossman. Susan Brossman and Lynn Cutler are the Street Moms, and Susan, I think, is the one who really, she's with the Vineyard Church, and she got this Sunday morning thing going here at YSS for the church, and so they put that on, and they also have things there like, YSS takes in a lot of clothing and shoes and used items, as well as personal hygiene items, not used, new, for folks in the community. And so we have some of that stuff there for the people who come to that service as well. And it's a really a warm, welcoming place.
That's a wonderful service. The Street Moms. Can you say Susan Cutler and
Susan Brossman and Lynn Cutler. And they've been doing this for a year or so now, maybe more. And they actually, it's similar to Project Hope, which is with the city county health department, which is a medical service that goes out to the people who are living outside and brings them services. Well, the Street Moms, they also go to the people who are living outside, and they see what they need. They give them fellowship. They bring them, they bring them food, and they help them in any way they can. And they're an amazing couple of ladies, and we're lucky to know them, and we're lucky to have them here in the Valley.
Yeah, it sounds great. the Street Moms. I love the name too. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
get in touch with one of them and
Yes.
talk to them
Susan
about
Brossman.
about their.
I can get you her number.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Betsy, I know I've been keeping you on the line for a while, but I'm talking to Betsy Bethel of the Youth Services Systems, just in case you're tuning in late. And this is Butch Maxwell hosting on the afternoon drive. And one thing we didn't get to that if are you able to stick through for just maybe 15 minutes after a short break?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep,
great.
I'm all yours.
Okay, super. Because I do want to talk about the winter freeze-out shelter at
Sure.
VMC. So we will continue our discussion with Betsy Bethel of Youth Services System right after we take a break. You're listening to Butch Maxwell hosting on the afternoon drive right here on the Watchdog Network.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
There's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I love living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to
The
Jim
original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
Throughout the Ohio Valley, back to school is looking different. Each day, parents, teachers, students, coaches, and administrators are finding solutions to situations that are unprecedented. All of us at the Highlands appreciate everything you are doing and are here for the items you need. Visit hitthehighlands.com for the current guidelines and updated contact information of our retailers and restaurants.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Getting ready for number 1. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Caridi. That story coming up on today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger.
Did you know that 1 in 8 Americans struggle with hunger? Yet more than 40% of the food we produce is thrown out. At Kroger, we know we can do something about this. We're donating more food to local food banks through our partnership with Feeding America. And we're working with World Wildlife Fund to end food waste. But we can't do it alone, and we hope you'll join us in creating a world with zero hunger and zero waste. Visit thekrogerco.com to learn how you can help. Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales. Plus, rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's practice day for the Mountaineer basketball team. West Virginia getting set for Wednesday's game against number 1 rated Gonzaga. As part of the Jimmy V Classic, the game will be played in Indianapolis. What a start of the season for the Zags. They will enter the game on Wednesday with a perfect 2-0 record. They have double-digit victories over 2 Power 5 opponents. They beat Kansas 102-90 and then pounded Auburn by a score of 90-67. Through 2 games, Gonzaga has 4 players who are averaging in double figures, led by 6'10" big man Drew Timme, who is averaging 27 points per game. Corey Kispert averages 24. Jalen Suggs comes in at 18, and Joel Ayaya comes in at 10 points per game. You get the picture. They are balanced, they are deep, and they're shooting the ball really well. 58% from the field while allowing 45. And so far this season, they've out-rebounded the opposition by 10.5 rebounds per game. All right, over on the other side, West Virginia is also undefeated. The Mountaineers 3-0 after the wins over South Dakota State, VCU, and Western Kentucky through 3 games. West Virginia not shooting the ball particularly well, shooting 41% from the field, allowing 41% from the field. A slight improvement from where they were a year ago from 3, now at 31%. They were at 29 a year ago. WV does have balanced scoring so far, with 4 Mountaineers averaging in double figures, led by Miles Deuce McBride, who is hitting for 16 points per game. We'll talk Mountaineer basketball tonight with Bob Huggins. The Bob Huggins Show comes your way on the Mountaineer Sports Network beginning at 7 o'clock. That is today's Mountaineer Report. It's brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College.
You're listening to The Watchdog, now on FM at 97.7 and 98.1. Sounds so clear. Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson were just discussing it.
Are we clear? Yes, sir. Are we clear? Crystal.
The Watchdog, live and local talk radio, just the way you like it.
Sweet blossom, come on, under the willow. We can have high times if you look back. We can be discover the wonders of nature, rolling in the rushes down by the riverside.
And welcome back to the Afternoon Drive with Butch Maxwell, producer Lola Miller. And we've been talking this hour with Betsy Bethel, who is with the Youth Services System, an organization that has been in Wheeling for nearly 40 years and just does amazing work, including emergency youth shelters, life skills, employment programs. They do a lot of outpatient and community-based services, youth mentoring, transitional living, housing services, substance abuse services. Just some, I don't know, I've mentioned many of them. Betsy, what else are we missing?
Oh, yeah, you're not missing too much there. It's a bit expensive, really, because, well, there's so many needs. And as I said before, the theory here is to say yes if there's a need. And that's kind of how the Winter Freeze Shelter got started.
Yeah, tell us about the Winter Freeze Shelter.
Yes, and it was started. This will be our 12th winter of doing it, and it's basically our CEO John Moses was approached, and there were some other local agencies involved in the beginning there, and the goal is just to keep people, not just, but the goal is to keep people from freezing to death or getting seriously ill from exposure to the elements. So people who have no shelter or very poor shelter, they can come to stay at YSS. And it's just a nighttime shelter, and it's a low bar shelter, they call it, which means that it is it welcomes everyone. We welcome everyone, whether you have an ID or not. You don't have to be sober to come in, but the only thing you have to be is you're not allowed to hurt anyone. You can't be violent. That's not tolerated. But other than that, we give you a place to stay. We feed you and give you some supplies such as warm socks and coats and hats and things like that if they're needed, even boots and gloves and stuff like that. So that's been what we've been doing for these past winters, and we've served more than 1,500 people with this service. And just last year alone, we had 279 different individuals come through our winter freeze shelter.
Wow, that's amazing. Now this year you've got I don't know where you held in the past, but I understand you've got a new home for this.
Right. So in the past, it's been held in our Hazel Atlas building on the 4th floor, which is where our administrative offices are. And we have a big room that people met in, and then we had a few rooms that had beds set up, dorm style, and that just was not going to work this year with COVID. So, sorry, I've got a PA system going. Hope you can't hear it.
No, we're good.
Anyway, so that wasn't going to work, or if we were to have it here, we would be extremely limited in the number of people that we could have, and that's just not going to fly with Mr. Moses, because he wants to help as many people as possible. So, as it turns out, there is this big building over there in Center Wheeling. You may have heard of it, the OVMC.
Yeah.
You used to work there, didn't you?
No, I didn't. But I'm well familiar with it.
Yes, of course. So the city owns that, and there was an opportunity that was discussed between YSS and the city, about using the 3rd floor of the Hillcrest, the former Hillcrest portion of the hospital. And eventually that actually came to pass. That came to fruition, and we are able to use that space for our winter freeze shelter this year, and we're so thrilled and so grateful.
Oh, what amazing! Good
that they've
fortune.
made that possible. It's a really it's huge.
So you're able to put people into more private or semi-private rooms or something.
That's definitely the main perk is people will not be cheek by jowl.
Right. Yeah.
in the rooms, they'll have more space to spread out. There'll be 2 per room, and that's plenty of space. And of course, if someone is showing any symptoms, they'll have their own room.
Right.
And we'll take temperatures, and we have everybody wearing. We will have everyone wearing masks, and all the precautions that are necessary in this day and age with this pandemic going on. And we're grateful for the opportunity. Another really cool thing about this new space is that each room has a shower and a bathroom, and that's just something that is just a godsend for a lot of the people that we serve. That there was a shower station over by Catholic Charities on 18th Street that was set up this year, a hygiene station, but that with the cold weather has been discontinued.
Right,
so this will offer that piece of dignity that is often not available to our guests. So, and that's what we call them. They are our
That's
guests.
nice. I like that. That's, your guests. Yeah, so people would, you operate this from mid-December through mid-March, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So we don't have an exact date to open yet. There's some issues that we still need to take care of with the facility, but it's imminent. We just need to finish up some things, and we have a group from Christ United Methodist Church. Every year they come and make up our beds for the first time each season, so they're ready to do that. Their volunteers are ready to come in and help with that, and we have, the community is amazing when it comes to this shelter. The outpouring of support that we get every year it just grows every year, and it's phenomenal. And nobody can tell me that people in this valley don't care about people who are homeless.
Yeah.
Because we see every day the amount of stuff that gets donated. We had American Sanitary Supply donated 62 cases of hand sanitizer for the free shelter.
Wow, that's cool.
So that's just one example. Plus, we have community members doing drives, bringing in personal hygiene products and things like that. The shower station folks are donating their towels to us since they're done with them for this season. So we've never needed towels before.
Yeah.
But we've got those.
And you're going to need laundry now too, right?
Yeah. So interesting you bring that up. We were just talking this morning. Wheeling Linen does our laundry, our linens every year for free.
Wow.
So every year they take I think it's a couple times a week, they come in and they pick up. So we change the linens every night on each bed, but they come in and pick up a couple days worth at a time. Yeah. And they launder them, and then they bring them back to us, and it's a service that they provide.
That is
which
just
I think
amazing.
is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's just wonderful the way this community pulls together.
Yes.
Are there any needs that people in the public listening right now might be able to help with?
Yes, there are. So even though we do get a lot of support, there's, I don't want people to think that we don't need anything.
Right.
We do have an Amazon wish list.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually, do you have a way to share that with your listeners? I can't really give you the URL, and you can't go to Amazon and just search for it, but
you
I
can't?
could send you a link.
All right.
Or it's on our Facebook page. It's on the Youth Services System Facebook page.
So we would just search on Youth Services System or Wheeling Youth Services System on Facebook?
Yeah, we're on Instagram and Facebook. We also have a Twitter and a LinkedIn, but you'll find I posted something in the past few days, and it says Amazon. It says wish list.
Okay.
Winter Free Shelter wish list,
Yeah.
and it'll have the information there. But things like feminine hygiene products, we need those. We need warm socks. And gloves and those hot hand warmer things for your hands and the ones that go in your shoes.
Yeah.
For people to keep their hands and feet warm. Thermal underwear, tops and bottoms. We could use shampoo and deodorant and razors, things like that.
Yeah.
I think our person who's in charge of all of that stuff, Sarah Carpenter, she said we have plenty of toothpaste, so
Okay.
I guess we don't need any toothpaste.
All
But
right.
we need just about everything else, and even but even like non-perishable food items that they can take with them,
Okay.
granola bars,
Yeah.
and things like that they can take with them during the day. It's unfortunate that we can't keep them all day long, but we don't have the staff for that, unfortunately, and it's really unfortunate because places like the library, I'm not sure if they're open this year.
I wonder. With
Where
COVID,
people
it's,
used to go in.
yeah.
Um,
They have about
so
10 hours between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to. They need to be able to be as warm as possible.
Right.
So any kind of cold weather clothing that you can spare, whether you've got it in your closet or you see something on sale at Walmart or whatever.
If you're
be
cleaning
great.
out your closet, you can, some warm clothes that maybe you think, I don't want to wear that anymore. Bring it to youth services.
Yes.
Right.
87 15th Street.
Okay, yeah, good. For old timers like me, that you just say the Hazel Atlas building. We know where that
the
was.
Hazel Atlas building.
Or
Yep.
it used to be West Virginia Northern. That's how old people are. Up there where the gas station used to be.
Yeah, West Virginia Northern, and it was West Liberty for a while.
Yes,
too,
it was.
and,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it's a big old good. Solid building.
It's a
here,
great
and
building. Yeah, it's got got all
we
these
have
classrooms and stuff.
a lot of services here, and we rent out space too. We've got the Alternative School for Ohio County is here, and the National Council on Aging is here, and we used to have NAMI. But they moved up to that building on Chaplin that Dean Connors owns.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I forget what it's called. It used to be the Pottery. The Lynn Pottery or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So that's what you can. That's how people can still help, and of course, monetary donations are always welcome as well. We don't get much funding for this program at all, so we rely on the community heavily.
Do you get are most of your clients are they referrals from DHHR or do you or walk-ins or a combination of both? I imagine.
So for the youth programs that we have, there's a lot of referrals from DHHR. There's referrals from other agencies. There's, of course, our juvenile center is involved with the justice system, juvenile justice system, and then parents. If a parent has a question or a need, if their child is experiencing some difficulties, maybe mental health issues or substance use issues, we have counselors. We take all insurances pretty much, and if you can't pay, then you don't pay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And we have a youth mentoring network. Anyone, any parent or grandparents who are raising grandkids who maybe want someone to help them out a little bit or to give their kids another positive role model in their lives. That is an excellent program. It's called Youth Mentoring Network, and that has its own Facebook page. You can find out more about that. But in schools, we get referrals from school counselors as well, and we have a whole team of folks who work in middle schools and high schools up and down the river in what's called expanded school-based mental health. And so they are there to help the counselors and teachers work with the kids on coping skills and things like that. And with COVID, that's been a big need.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we have people who are calling parents, just checking in, making sure, they're doing okay, helping. And we've even had some of our coordinators helping parents navigate the Schoology and the different platforms that the kids are using because they're tearing their hair out and they don't know how to use them.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
So just any kind of support services that you could think of, we provide them. And
or at least you could be a clearinghouse
call
for them. Yeah, so what is the phone number that they could call?
It's 304-233-9627. It's 304-233-9627. We also do a bunch of substance abuse prevention stuff and recovery homes. So I know we're running out of time.
No, that's okay. Please tell us about that.
The recovery homes are great. So, like the Winter Freeze Shelter, the recovery homes is actually an adult service that we provide.
So it's not just
and-
youth; it can be
Yeah,
adults
so we
as
do
well.
youth and adults. And the recovery homes are for people 18 and over who are in recovery for substance use disorders or alcohol use disorder. And they provide a community, a house that they live in, and they work together. They take care of the house. They have meals together. They're required to be in some sort of recovery program, like AA or NA, or another type of program like that. There's one called Smart Recovery. And some of them are receiving treatment stills for their addictions. And so they're all there to support each other. And the outcome of these peer recovery homes across the nation, they're becoming more and more popular because people are realizing that their recovery rate is better, their recidivism rate is better with the prison systems and things like that.
Right.
So, and we rely on folks like Ziegenfelders and DeCarlo's Pizza and Perkins Restaurant and Rachel's on 16th Street. These are all places where people they give them second chances.
Wow.
So their employers, local employers, I just want to shout out to them that give folks second chances, folks who've been in prison, folks who've had substance use issues. They'll give them, a chance to get on with their lives.
That's amazing. I've heard
and
so
so-
many good things about those Ziegenfelders and
Yeah.
who else did you say? I just want to make sure.
So other ones are Perkins Restaurant, DeCarlo's Pizza, Rachel's on 16th.
Okay. Yeah.
They've all helped. And there are others. Oh, Later Gator
Later Gator,
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Mitch and Susan are great. So,
Yeah. And
And
I want to
those-
support businesses who do that sort of thing, to give people a second chance. And in America, we believe in redemption, so, and maybe redemption's even the wrong, because sometimes, sometimes these drug problems and, some of the problems that you deal with are not problems that are self-inflicted at all. So, try to put this without
and
judgment.
one thing I like to tell people is, there's still a stigma out there against people who have had addictions, and it's hard to believe that there's still stigma, considering I think everybody knows somebody who has had this issue, and but there's recovery is a process, and it's many, many, many years long, and it's a process, and nobody's perfect, and so we just have to do our best and support each other, and
That's right.
that's what it's all about.
A lot of
So
people-
recovery happens in community is a phrase that we like to say a lot around here.
I like that too. Yeah, I like that very much. Yeah, that's great. Well, Betsy, thank you so much for spending some time with us and explaining to us what Youth Services Systems does. There's so many things. Boy, we could talk for a couple more hours, I think.
I know, right?
But it's,
when I found out it was an hour long, I was like, oh, that's no problem.
yeah, yeah, you can handle that easily. Yeah. If you want to find out more about, say, any of their programs, they have a great website, youthservicessystems.org. There you can also go on to events and find out about the Wheeling Sleep Out event that's coming up. You can also find out some more information about the Winter Freeze Shelter at Hillcrest.
And if folks want to tune into our Facebook page or YouTube channel this coming Friday, we're doing a sleep out program, because that's when the event is, even though it's virtual.
Yes.
But we'll have some entertainment, some, I think, do you know John Lequier?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you might be in a band with him or have been.
I just
around.
musicians know each other.
Yeah, musicians know each other. So John Lequier, Eli Lambie, Adrian Niles, the Muddle, New Age Adinas, I think, they're all going to be performing for us.
I'm tuning in. Those are all my very good friends. Yes, that sounds great. Well, good. All right. What time is that on Friday?
7 o'clock, I think. Somewhere around there.
Around 7 p.m. Then tune in, and you can access that right through Youth Services Systems website or their Facebook page. Is that right?
Yeah, Facebook page. Yep,
Okay.
on our Facebook
On the
page.
Facebook page.
We'll be doing some live stuff, and we'll be doing some recorded stuff. So.
Great, and don't forget they can always use your help. We didn't even talk about volunteering, but I know you've got volunteer force, so you could call
Yeah,
into.
yeah.
Like
Not quite as many volunteers as usual because of COVID,
right.
But we're making it work.
Okay,
so.
yeah, that's good.
Right.
They can always use the help. Once again, Betsy Bethel from Youth Services Systems, thank you so much for being with us, and good luck with everything you've got coming up over this busy holiday season and in these very trying times. All right.
All right. Thank
Thanks
you so
again.
much, Butch. I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure. Thank
Take
you,
care.
Betsy. All right.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye. So you've been listening to the Afternoon Drive with my special guest, Betsy Bethel from Youth Services System. I want to thank Lori Jones of the YWCA for setting up that interview for me. Lori, you're my best booker out there, so I appreciate that. Coming up in the next hour, I've got musician, singer, songwriter, and guitar player, Mike Roeder, who is the founder of the Catch Blues Band, which is really Wheeling's preeminent blues band for the past, 10, 12 years, something like that. So he's going to be in here playing some music, so do stay tuned. You're listening to Butch Maxwell guest hosting here on the Watchdogs Afternoon Drive.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Caught fire in San Diego, the Navy has now decided it will scrap the amphibious assault ship instead of trying to repair it. The damage to the ship from the days-long fire was too much to repair. Temperatures at times reached 1,000 degrees, and the ship had been in service for almost a quarter of a century. Scrapping the ship will cost about $30 million compared to $2.5 billion in 7 years to renovate it. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Investigators suspected arson in that ship fire. Certifying its election and Joe Biden's win, Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs.
Of those 3.42 million ballots cast, over 88% of them were cast early, which provides more proof that Arizona's ballot-by-mail system works.
President Trump's legal team is still contesting the results. An update on an indictment of 2 former associates of President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and note the name of the company.
Lev Parnas, Igor Fruman, and a third defendant, Andrei Kukushkin, pleaded not guilty to charges they conspired to defraud investors in a company called Fraud Guarantee. The men had previously pleaded not guilty to charges they made illegal campaign donations to local and federal politicians to win support for a marijuana business. Parnas and Fruman also figured into the impeachment of President Trump since they worked with Rudy Giuliani to dig up dirt on then-Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch, whose ouster was central to the inquiry. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
President Trump's order to exclude undocumented immigrants, in his words, to the maximum extent feasible from the 2020 census, faced skepticism from a majority on the Supreme Court at today's hearing. With coronavirus cases surging, the state of Rhode Island is pausing for 2 weeks while Los Angeles County is under a stay-at-home order. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized all day, use Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Once dry, Microban 24 sanitizing spray is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed.
DoorDash is looking to deliver a self-worth of nearly $30 billion in its initial public stock offering soon. A phased-in turnaround.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says he plans to begin reopening public schools on Monday, December 7th. There will be required weekly COVID-19 testing and mandatory consent forms.
Lots of precautions, lots of mask wearing. We have a chance still to avert
some of what we've seen in other parts of the country in terms of restrictions.
Elementary schools will be the first to resume. He also says with the hopes of vaccine distribution soon, he says a large number of kids could return to classes this school year. Mark Remillard, ABC News, New York.
Successfully avoiding a common problem for ex-cons, employment.
It's Felicity Huffman's first gig since going to prison. She'll star in a comedy for ABC. It'll be set in the world of minor league baseball. No word when we'll see it. Deadline reports right now the series has a commitment for production of a pilot. Huffman pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud after paying $15,000 to have someone take her daughter's SAT test. She served 14 days in prison last year and was ordered to do community service and pay a fine. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
The leader of Scotland says she hopes to hold an independence referendum as soon as next year. Scotland voted in 2014 to remain in the UK, but First Minister Nicola Sturgeon says that Brexit changed things, with England dragging Scotland out of the European Union against its will. This is ABC News.
Modern modernization today has the products you need to modernize your workplace, like the Neuro Tiara. Upgrade your brain to the ultimate data management tool by simply deleting less critical information.
Childhood erased.
At CDW, we get a Neuro Tiara won't modernize your data. You need hybrid cloud data services from NetApp that simplify management and accelerate digital transformation to help unleash the full potential of your data. NetApp and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/NetApp.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Look for periods of rain, otherwise mostly cloudy, for your start to the work week. Temperatures should rise to about 45 for the daytime high. Your overnight low of 30 degrees, rain changing over to a little bit of snow. You'll see periods of snow in the forecast for your Tuesday, with highs in the lower 30s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. The afternoon drive continues with more news, sports, and talk on the Watchdog.
She didn't care, but anyway, I told her we'd still be friends, and she didn't care, but anyway, I tried last week for to go when she wasn't home, but anyway, I think I'll spend my life alone. I really don't care right now. But anyway, the state of affairs and the state of emotion, the kind of thing that you must understand. I'll tell you one thing, you tell me another, we walk away, maybe then shake hands.
And the afternoon drive continues with Butch Maxwell hosting and Lola Miller providing the intuitive music. I would have said, you know, it would be nice to probably play some blues music coming into it. And who did she come up with? This Blues Traveler. All right.
What could we have sitting here?
I know.
I could not do anything else.
Yes, we have a local legend in the studio today. We've got Mike Roeder, who is the creator of the Catch Blues Band, singer, guitarist, and songwriter. And he was a little reluctant to come because he thought he might be a little rusty. But, you know, even a rusty Mike Roeder is better than most. So glad to have you here, Mike.
I'll hold you to that for later.
All right. Okay, good. Mike brought along his assistant, his son, who's his security. His son-in-law.
Jeremy
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Before we get to the music, though, I do want to do a little bit of promotion here. The sports lineup here on the Watchdog Network. Today, you can catch the Bob Huggins Show from 7 to 9, and that's right here on WKKX. The Buckeye Roundtable will be coming up at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8 p.m., and that's on the WVLY side. Of course, Tuesdays, as usual, we've got the Neil Brown press conference that runs right at noon, from noon to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. And then Wednesday, we've got WVU men's basketball versus Gonzaga? Gonzaga? Gonzaga, okay.
You know, I pronounce it Gonzaga, but I think they say Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I kind of like Gonzaga. All right, all right. You say Gonzaga, I say Gonzaga. Anyway, that's Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. on both stations, KKX and WVLY. Thursday, as always, Neil Brown's show. That's 6 to 8 p.m. on both stations, and the Ryan Day radio show. And that goes from 8 to 9 on WVLY. This Saturday, you can look forward to, COVID permitting, I guess, OSU at Michigan State. Big game, even for someone like me who's pretty sports ignorant. I know that's a big game. Guys, I used to live in Columbus, Ohio, where I used to wear a Michigan shirt just to piss people off. But
Gotta do it.
Yep. On Sunday, the Browns at Titans, and that's at 1 p.m. on WKKX, and also WVU men's basketball at Georgetown at 4:30 p.m. on both radio stations. So that's coming up on Sunday. So lots of good sports entertainment to look forward to. But now I want to hear some music. You got some music from, say, the 60s or late 70s or something.
Actually, that's sort of my forte.
Yeah.
Old music. some of the songs I realized the other day, I was playing songs that were 30 years old. And I was like, wow, I remember playing those when they were hits.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I do in my band, my new wave band, the M80s. I'm playing songs that I played when they were out. And
Speaking of your talented singing and stuff, if you hear anything that you know the words to that I'm doing, don't be shy.
Okay, all right.
You too, Lola.
Okay, we'll sing along.
Anyway, I'm going to start out with an old Stephen Stills song. This was off of what was the album? Four-Way Street. No, I think it was Deja Vu. Yeah, it was the Deja Vu album. He didn't want to put this on, but all the rest of the guys said, "Oh, you got to do that." Yeah. So, anyway, we'll try it here with the old Marvel voice.
Okay, Mike Roeder, ladies and gentlemen.
24 years ago, coming to this life, born of a woman and a man who lives in strife. He was tired of being poor and wandered from door to door, and he worked like a devil to be more. Different kind of poverty now upsets me so. Night after sleepless night, I walk the floor and I want to know, why am I so alone? Where is my woman? Can I bring her home? Have I driven her away? Is she gone? Morning comes the sunrise, and I'm driven to my bed. I see that it is empty, and there's devils in my head. I embrace the many-colored beast. I grow weary of the torment, and there be no peace. And I find myself just wishing that my life was simply peace.
Yeah, all right, very nice. Very nice.
Take this off. I can't hear myself.
Okay, just go ahead and take it off. You don't need to hear. You don't need the headphones on.
Lola did that.
Yeah, lovely.
I brought Jeremy here for security. All the paparazzi out there for Lola.
Yeah, yeah, that's
bring
true.
him in here to
Yeah,
do this.
all the Lola greedy groupies out there. Yeah, I always like that song.
Here's a song. My brother Sonny is a big Bob Dylan fan.
Mm-hmm.
I told him if he listened to it, I'd play a Dylan song. This was Dylan wrote this, but it was I think the Byrds made it famous. So let's see if this works out for me here.
Okay.
Oh, wrong guitar. Jeremy, where you at there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mike has brought 30 different guitars here.
I
He's going to
just
change
only
everything.
needed two. One was tuned differently.
Yeah.
I was too lazy to do the both of them. This is for you, Sonny. Clouds so swift, rain won't lift, gates won't close, railings froze. Get your mind off of winter time, you ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? I don't care how many letters you sent. Morning came and the morning went. Pack up your money and pick up your tent, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Whoa, whoa, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailgates and some substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. Ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, Lord, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? Genghis Khan, he could not sleep. All his kings supplied with sheep. We'll climb that hill no matter how steep when we come up to it. Ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, Lord, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? Yeah, ooh-wee, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, Lord, how we gonna fly down in the easy chair?
Yeah, all right.
There you go. That's for my brother up here on Apple Pie Ridge.
Okay.
Ridge Runner.
Yeah, the Ridge Runner, the Rotor Ridge Runner.
The Rotor Ridge Runner.
Yeah, you're listening to Mike Rotor on Live and Local here on the Afternoon Drive, along with Butch Maxwell. That song, yeah, you're right. It was originally released by the Byrds. Dylan wrote it.
Dylan did that song. It's on. I forget what album. If my brother was here, he could tell you right off of that what it is. But I forget what album.
It was on the Basement Tapes and like Greatest Hits Volume 2. But it was like I don't think he actually. I think the Byrds actually released it. I don't know how they got it before he released
I don't know,
it.
but I tell you, who does the best version I've ever heard is Gary Vincent from the Castleman's Rock
Really?
Band.
Yeah.
I hope he's down in Clarksdale listening right now.
All right, yeah, Gary. Hey, shout out to Gary. We go back to. Yeah.
Gary does a great job on that song.
Yeah.
I stole it from his repertoire.
Well, it's good, and it suits your voice well too, Mike. So that's good.
I don't know. Fits his better.
So what else you got for us?
Well, this is an original. I wrote this some time back. I was doing a little traveling around, playing with some friends, sitting in and playing and everything. This is a song that Kevin and I are working on for our new CD.
Okay.
But,
Kevin Brosh, the
Kevin Brosh,
percussionist and keyboard player.
Arranger to all of my music.
Yes.
Actually, he hasn't really got all the bugs out of this song, so I'm doing it raw. Sorry, Kevin.
Okay. All right. Well, don't worry. He's working. He's not listening, probably. But
this is called 8 Hours Away from Home. All right, let me get this. Woke up in a hotel room in Charlotte. I survived another night of filling in. I guess I played all right. It's when they paid me for the night. He said, when can you come back and play again? Now I'm 8 hours away from Wheeling, West Virginia, the only real home I've ever known. It's so lonely out here on this big open road. I'm 8 hours away from my home. Next week I'll find myself in another city, playing guitar for another old friend. Well, the clubs and the bars will never cover up the scars, and I'll never get my old life back again. When did my music come to this? I'm a hired gun with a guitar on my hip. In my youth I wanted more, like a star out there on tour. Now at my age I don't want it anymore. Now I'm 8 hours away from Wheeling, West Virginia, the only real home I've ever known. It's so lonely out here on this big open road. I'm 8 hours away from my home. Yes, I'm 8 hours away from my home.
Yeah, very nice, Mike.
Oh, thank you. What
Nice.
do you think, Jeremy?
Original
You sound
song.
all right? Why don't you say hello to Alicia and the kids and everybody? All my grandchildren and everybody. Hello there. I told them I'd say hi to them.
Yeah,
This is a song for Butch here. This is got a lot of Beatles things in it.
Okay.
And, there's a lot of stories behind this song, and well, anyway, only the true Beatle fans know all the lines behind this. It's from Ricky Nelson. It's called Garden Party. I went to a garden party, reminisce with my old friends, a chance to share old memories and play our songs again. When I got to the garden party, they all knew my name, but no one recognized me. I didn't look the same, but it's alright now. Sing it, Butch. I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everybody, so you gotta please yourself. People came from miles around, everyone was there. Yoko brought her walrus, there was magic in the air. And over in the corner, much to my surprise, Mr. Hughes in Dylan's shoes, wearing his disguise. But it's alright now, learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you gotta please yourself. La na na, la da da. I played them all the old songs, I thought that's why they came. But no one heard the music, we didn't look the same. I said hello to Mary Lou, she belongs to me. But when I sang a song about a honky-tonk, it was time to leave. And it's alright now, learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you gotta please yourself. La da da, la da da. Someone opened up the closet door, out stepped Johnny B. Good, playing guitar like a ringing a bell, and looking like he should. If you gotta play a garden party, I wish you a lot of luck. But if memories are all I sang, I'd rather drive a truck. And it's alright now, learned my lesson well. can't please everyone, so you gotta please yourself. And it's alright now. Learn my lesson well. See, you can't please everyone, so you gotta please yourself. La da da, la da da.
Yeah. All right. Mike Roeder from the Catch Blues Band and playing a Ricky Nelson song, among others.
He's
in this
Ozzy's
half hour.
brother.
Yeah. So there are all kinds of stories behind that song.
Right. Yoko brought her walrus is
John
Lennon.
Mhm.
Yoko brought John Lennon, and Mr. Hughes and Dylan's shoes. Mr. Hughes was George Harrison's hotel name, and him hidden Dylan's shoes. He was doing he was thinking about doing an album with all Dylan songs at the time, and that's why that line got written. So.
That's very cool. That's amazing. I did not know that about that.
Beatlemania stuff there, for everybody.
It's always good to learn something new about the Beatles, and that's actually Ricky Nelson is one of Bill DeFabio's favorite people. I don't know if a show goes by without him mentioning Ricky Nelson or something. So
it's a shame.
Yeah.
A lot of the good guys went too early.
They did indeed. Yeah. And he made a heck of a comeback because he was popular in the late '50s and then came back in 1974 or
Rio
something.
Bravo with John Wayne. That was awesome.
Oh, was he in that?
It was like the wall of sound kicked in when he sang though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Suddenly it's stereo and everything. Yeah.
John Wayne like, hey, he's pretty good.
Well, listen, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, Mike's got a lot more music for us, so do stick around. You're listening to The Watchdog Afternoon Drive, and this is Butch Maxwell along with my guest, Mike Roeder, and we'll be right back after these words.
Place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
The original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
Smart Center Market in Wheeling salutes our area healthcare providers, first responders, and EMTs serving on the front lines of COVID-19. It is with humility we extend our thanks to you. Thank you for showing up daily, and thank you for risking your lives and for continuing to stay in the fight. That's from Smart Center Market, always working to make our area a safer place to live.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. We will be seeing some snow in West Virginia tonight, and that'll make tomorrow's drive to work tricky. Nick Webb, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Charleston, says a lot of factors come into play on the accumulation.
Once you get into the lower elevations, talking about the surface temperatures, the ground temperatures, we're going to be dealing with, half an inch to an inch of rain on the front end of this system. We'll have to take that into account as well.
Parts of Pocahontas, Randolph County under a winter storm warning until 4 this afternoon. Then parts of Montague, Tucker, and Preston will see that overnight, and the rest of the state will be under a winter weather advisory starting this evening and stretching into tomorrow evening, with the exception of a couple of counties in the far eastern panhandle. Marshall Health and Cabell Huntington's Health Department are teaming up for free HIV testing tomorrow during World AIDS Day. Jessica Ford is the event organizer and pediatric hospitalist fellow at Marshall University's Joan C. Edwards School of Medicine. She says the event is free and confidential.
It will not be billed. You will not be charged anything, so it is completely free. And we didn't want people, especially the adolescents that were younger than 16, 18 years of age, to be concerned about their parents coming and having it be completely confidential.
It goes from 2 to 6 tomorrow afternoon at the health department in Huntington. In McDowell County, deputies say they have a suspect in a hit and run that claimed the life of a toddler on Thanksgiving night. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Another West Virginia baseball team has received some certainty about its future. The West Virginia Black Bears will be one of 5 teams that will be charter members of the newly formed MLB Draft League. The new league will feature top prospects expected to be taken in that year's Major League Baseball draft. Earlier this year, teams in Princeton and Bluefield of the Appalachian League were announced to be part of a new elite college baseball summer league program. All of this as minor league baseball is the target of downsizing. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
And here he goes.
West Virginia football.
He's going to go all the way in. Touchdown.
Lives here.
And here we go. A home run ball deep downfield. And he makes the catch. Right up the middle he goes. He's on his way. It's a foot race. He's going to score. 15, 10-foot. End zone. Touchdown. West Virginia.
The regular season concludes on Saturday when WVU takes on Iowa State. Only on your home for Mountaineer football.
The Watchdog.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome
programmed electronic disco, we never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft anymore. By the year 2006, the music known today as the blues will exist only in the classical records department of your local public library. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, while we still can, let us welcome from Rock Island, Illinois, the blues band of Joliet Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers.
Kathy Melvin. Kathy Melvin. Okay, hey, welcome back. That's the Blues Brothers, and we have the original Blues Brother right here. We've got Mike Roeder live and local. You're listening to the Afternoon Drive with Butch Maxwell, and I don't want to talk too much. I just want to have Mike play some music for you because that's what's important here. What do you got for us, Mike?
I'm going to do a Beatles song for you because I know you're a Beatles fan. And this is, of all the Beatles songs there are out in the world, I have only know this one.
Oh, okay.
I was never into, I mean, when the Beatles were big, my brothers, I had like 6 brothers and 1 sister.
Yeah.
They were turning me on to the Fillmore East. And
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, let's see if I can pull this one off for you, Butch.
Sounds good.
Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. Everywhere the people stare, each and every day, I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. How can I even try? I can never win. Here and them and see and them in the state I'm in. How can she say to me, love will find a way? Gather round all you clowns, let me hear you say, hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away.
Yeah. Hey. All right.
Who wrote that, John? Or
John.
Paul?
That was a John song, definitely. And,
Definitely?
Yeah. In the movie Help, he played it. Every time he yelled, hey!
Hey!
You jump. You know? Yeah. Love it. Mike Roeder on the Afternoon Drive on Live and Local Music.
I thought I would do a song for all the parrot heads out there, like Jimmy Buffett.
Yes. Okay. Lola, I think, is a parrot head.
Lola, you like Jimmy Buffett?
Yes, I do.
Actually, he did this
Yes, I
song
do.
with another guy, and I can't remember his name right now, but it's called 5 O'Clock Somewhere. The sun is hot and that old clock is moving slow, and so my workday passes like molasses in wintertime. But it's July, getting paid by the hour and older by the minute. Boss just put me over the limit. I'd like to call it something, I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me some tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Sing it, Lord.
It's my theme song.
This lunch break is gonna take all afternoon and half tonight. Tomorrow morning I know there'll be hell to pay. And baby, that's alright. I ain't had a day off now in over a year. My Jamaican vacation gonna start right here. If the phone's for me, you can tell them that I just sailed away. Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I could pay off my tab, pour myself in a cab, be back to work before 2. At a moment like this, I can't help but wonder, what would Butch Maxwell do? He said, pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. Pour me some tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, all right.
Parrot Head song.
Mike Roeder doing a song actually written by Alan Jackson, but Alan Jackson, and then
I knew it was somebody.
yeah, and along with Jimmy Buffett recorded that some years ago. A good song, good song. Yeah. And it is coming up on 5 o'clock, and we're looking at snow tomorrow, so enjoy it while you can. But we got a few time for a couple more songs here by Mike Roeder. Mike, one question. I know you created the Catch Blues Band, and it's been around in various configurations for what, about 10 or 12 years, something like that?
Since 2000, I think it was, I don't know, I'm not sure, you have to ask Kevin, but I think it was 2006.
2006, okay, yeah.
We had our heyday there, you know.
Yeah. And it's a four-piece and band.
We're still doing some jobs here and there, usually in the summertime.
Okay,
We were slated to play at the Blues Festival this year, but
Really?
it got canceled.
Really?
But
Oh, well.
hopefully, Bruce Wheeler.
Bruce will
Blues
bring
Blues
it back.
Blues will have us back
Yeah,
again this
yeah.
year.
Yeah, we missed it this year, boy.
It was,
It's
you know,
my favorite thing.
Summer, to me, without the Blues Festival, is just, it's over.
It was just, yeah, we just skipped a year. We just
Right.
missed a whole year here. But yeah, okay, so if somebody wanted to hear some of your own original music, I know I have 2 of your CDs. I don't know if you made more than that, but I have 2.
We have a new one coming out pretty soon. We have some in the can already. Right now, because of the COVID virus, the studio and everybody is all, everybody's catching the COVID right now. So
Right.
I'm waiting for Kevin and I have to get together and do some things yet.
Yeah.
Some arrangement. Kevin does the arrangements.
Yes.
He doesn't trust me to do anything.
Well, Kevin, when he was in the M80s, he was our musical director
Oh, I
too,
know
so,
Kevin's sharp as a tack,
Yeah,
man.
he's-
I could see, I have a cat that has the same look on his face as Kevin. Whenever you do something messed up, the cat looks at it.
Gives you the eye, huh? Yeah, right. I know. We've all been recipients of the Kevin eye, but we love him for it. So people could go on to like SoundCloud and download your music, or
You can buy it at Walmart.
Okay.
It's
All right.
everywhere now.
Okay.
You can go to anywhere online and just look up the Catch Blues Band,
Mhm.
and they sell it at Target on all the. I had this digital distribution package that our record label
Yeah.
put out, and it's everywhere.
So it's
You can
everywhere
find
then.
it
All right.
anywhere. The problem is when they run out of, they make me buy new ones and send them in.
Oh,
So
geez. Okay.
I still make my money back.
Yeah. All right. All right.
And
That's
I get
good.
a check like twice a year still. I'm still getting royalties.
All right.
Something we did 10 years
10 years ago. Well, that's good though. It's nice, and I just wanted to promote any way that we can get, because we're not paying you anything. So this is one way you can monetize this a little
Okay, man,
bit.
so I don't really make a lot on those checks when they come in. It's just enough to pay the rent.
Well, play us another song then, please.
All right, I'm going to try this one here. I don't know how it's going to turn out because of my Marlboro voice. This is the part of the evening where I use the capo. Capo. So hopefully it'll work out for me. Riding on city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Sunday morning rail. 15 cars, 15 restless riders, 3 conductors, 25 sacks of mail. And all along the southbound Odyssey, train pulls out of Kankakee, rolls along past houses, farms and fields, passing trains that have no name, freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of their rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call City of New Orleans. Been gone 500 miles when the day's done. Dealing card games, the old man in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. Feel the wheels rumbling neath the floor. And the sons of poolmen porters, and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep, rocking to the gentle beat. The rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day's done. Nighttime on the City of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling down to the sea. And all the towns and people seem faded and a bad dream. Steel rail, still ain't heard the news. Conductor sings his song again. Passengers will please refrain. This train got to disappear in railroad blues. Good night, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day's done. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day's done.
right, Mike Roeder there doing a Arlo Guthrie song, right? Arlo Guthrie.
Arlo retired this year. Can you believe that?
Huh? Yeah, did he? Yeah, I know. I read
This COVID
that.
thing
And
has got him spooked, too.
I think of Arlo Guthrie every Thanksgiving because of Alice's Restaurant Massacre. Yeah, yeah. And I've not listened to that in many, many years, but it made that impression on me. That's great. You're listening to Live and Local here on the Afternoon Drive with Butch Maxwell and my special guest, Mike Roeder, who is the main man behind the Catch Blues Band. And
Well, one of two.
one of the two main men. All right. Yeah, for a while you were going by R&B, which was really
Well, Kevin and I are
kind of
doing
a cool
a duo called
okay.
R&B.
R&B.
Roden Brosh.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of jobs at the racetrack. Well, now that the COVID's here.
Yeah,
it's,
I'm not doing that so much, but you'll be back. You'll be fine.
We'll always be back. I'll probably die on stage tonight.
That's what you hope to, anyway. Good. Well, it works out. We've got just about enough time to squeeze in one more song.
Now this will be a hard one because of my voice, but we'll try it anyway here.
Let's save it for the
You want to
last.
say anything before we go there?
Yeah. Say
Jeremy?
something here.
Hey, hi kids.
Hi,
Hi,
kids.
kids.
Okay.
We'll jump up and down.
He's got like tons of
Mike,
words.
Mike Roeder's son-in-law and
Jeremy Bickmeyer.
Jeremy Bickmeyer.
Thank you for coming today, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's a roadie here. So yeah.
Oh, he's the president of the fan club, and he drives the bus.
For sure.
Cinderella boy. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? Must be strong and carry on. 'Cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Would you help me stand if I saw you in heaven? Find my way through night and day, 'cause I know just can't stay here in heaven. Time can bring you down, time can bend your knee. Time can break your heart, have you begging please, begging please. Behind the door, there's peace, I'm sure, and I know be no more tears in heaven. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven, and I know I don't belong here in heaven.
All right, Mike Roeder performing an Eric Clapton song. I have chills. I've just had chills. That song just gives me chills.
It chokes me up.
It-
I
yeah.
sang that at my brother's funeral.
Oh.
and ever since then,
Oh, it's so good. We got to wrap up. Thank you, Mike, so much for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I want to also thank my guest a little bit earlier, Betsy Bethel from Youth Services System. I will be back right here in the chair on the air on Friday at 2 o'clock. I look forward to having you hear me then. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
Covered in snow. Thank you for joining us for 7 News at 5. I'm Shelby Davis. Here's a live look outside right now over Bridgeport, where you can see it's a little foggy out there, maybe misty, not much coming down yet as we talk about white precipitation. But let's send on over to Storm Tracker 7 Chief Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker to see when we can expect our first real snowfall of 2020, well, the winter season.